Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial. I'm going to show you about animation layers, what you can do with it, and not always use it in characters, but you can of course use it in animation overall. And if you look on the screen here, I have this character jumping from different platforms, and these platforms are using animation layers to blend two different animations. And you see they are shaking and then they are not shaking, and they are moving up and down. That's two different animations, and I'm going to show you how you can blend and lerp between it, and then you can kind of control it. So I'm going to do a little bit bigger setup eventually, so maybe in the next tutorial I will show the scripts, how I set these things up. So let's get started, and I'm going to start from a much more simple scene. And animation layers. So as I said, it's blending between two different layers. So what you see on the screen here is two animations. You see, this one is going up and it's going down. And this one is only shaking. And this is not animated in the kind of hard way. But what I mean is that when you animate, I have this IK constraint, which means I only have one target. So if you're not sure what I mean by this, you can look on my tutorials and you find the IK constraint, and there I explain this. So this is only animated with this target. And so to blend these ones, here I have a script that I'm going to show you in the next tutorial too, but instead of just looping the animation like I do here, I'm actually controlling here where on the clip I want the position to read. So imagine it like you're doing, you're just dragging it like this, you know, this is the same thing. So that's what I'm doing here. So you can control it with the scripts, and that's super nice. So you control this with script, and then we have this shake. So we kind of add, how much do you want to add it? So maybe you have like the health represent how much it shake, and when it shakes too much, it kind of break down and explode. I don't know. And or maybe it's really hard to go up here. So when it's up here, it shakes a lot, and when it goes down, it's more stable. So it's a lot of benefit to divide up the animation like this. And it works like this. So in the animator, you see here is layers. So you have the base layers, and the base layer you always have. And here you see the blue thing, right? So once again, you see when I do this slider here, you see down here that we move it. So that's controlled by script. And so if you want to work with layers and add the shake, you do here layer and add another one. We shouldn't do it, but so I added this one shake here, and you see it's always animating. And this lerp weight here, I can't move it because it's controlled by a script at the moment. But that's exactly what's happening here. You see, shake, shake. You see this one here, I'm shaking it. So we're going to do this from scratch, and I have this asset online, so you can just download this thing here, and it's also rigged up with the IK constraints, so you can look through that one too if you want. So we're going to do it from scratch, almost. So this one you can find in the link in the description, and if you download it, import it, and you also need this animation rigging that you can find in the package manager. And if you don't have that and you download this, you will have a missing script component here. But if you install the animation rigging, this rig builder will work. So if you download it and you play, this is what you have, the asset. And of course you can just use some other animation if you have. But in this case, we're going to remove this animator because we're going to do this from scratch. So now we have nothing. This is no animation on this one. So now if we move the rig target, you see, it kind of works. So once again, if you like this, look at the tutorial that shows how to set up this, and that's the previous one. So what we want to do now, we're going to animate. So like we did with this one here, it kind of, we're going to just replicate this one. So this one moves up and down, but we're just going to do, it moves from the bottom to the up, and then we're going to control it from script. So, or maybe we just do an animation first to show how it's done. So first off, we make a controller, animation controller. So we're going to do the anim controller, and I do 128 because I need to keep track on my folder structure and so on. So if we look at this anim controller, and let's see, we're gonna, so this is the asset that we're gonna work with, and it doesn't have any controller, so we add the one we created here. And now, and I actually locked it here, so I need to unlock it. So you see, it's empty. We don't have any animations in here. So we're gonna do create animation clip, and this is gonna be anim position 128. And I'm gonna do the shake now too, so we have that one made. So we do animation clip, anim shake 128. So these are the two animations that we're gonna use. So first off, we are gonna do the position. So this is the animation position, and if we select the asset and we do the animation, we have the anim position here. So I'm going to do record, and once again I'm using IK constraints, and we have the rig target here. So we're only going to animate this one. So when this one is at the beginning, that means it's going to be down here, kind of like it doesn't have any power, and it's falling down. So we're gonna have it like this, something, that's fine. And we have this rig hint, that's for the kind of knee or elbow stuff. So it's gonna be down here. So this is the starting position. It's gonna be like this. And then if we do 1 second up here, when we're gonna have the target going up. And we're gonna also do the rig, the rig hint. We're gonna have it going back like this. So this is gonna be, and we're gonna do it like this something, and we're gonna just make sure the rotation is 0, 0, 0, so it's far up like this. And this is gonna be fine. Actually, we're gonna do copy this start position, and we're gonna set it at 2 seconds. We're gonna add it again. So when we play, it's just gonna loop up, down like this. And you see it kind of happens something here because I forgot to do the hint too. Now, if we play, this one is set up too. And so now we're going to use animation layer to add some shakiness to this that we can control. So what you want to do in the animator, we have this kind of movement set up. Now we press the layers and add another one. So we're going to call this one shake. Shake layer to be consistent layer. And here we do add the animation shake. And let's see, so I'm doing this right. Okay, we're still recording, so I'm going to tick that one off. Now we want to work on the anim shake. And let's see, so it works as I intend to. Right now, this layer is controlled by this cogwheel. So the weight here, if we do a lot of stuff here, the animation shake won't affect anything because we are not adding any weight. That means if we do 1 here, then we will fully add this animation shake. And you can do it in 2 blending modes. So here you see blending. One thing is override. That means we just override the other animation totally. So it's kind of more of a blend of 2 different layers. But what we're going to use in this case is actually additive. So it's like we're going to use the movement in the last one, and then we're going to add on the shakiness from this one. So it's going to be 2 animations combined. So now we're going to animate the shakiness, and if we do, so I'm going to make sure that this weight is to 1, and we do record, and then I'm going to use this target. So what's important here, when you add something, you need to think about, if you add 90 plus 90, that is 180. If you add 90 plus 1, yeah, then it's 91. So why I say this is because you need this target to start at the value 0. Because you might think, oh, I'm going to shake it like this and this and this and this. So you kind of animate these values like 123 and so forth. But then when you add those values, 120 by 90, you got 210, it goes bananas. So we're only going to do shakiness from 0. And we're not even going to do the position because we don't want to touch the position at all. Actually, we're just going to do 0, 0 on the position, because when we add on, we don't want any values here, because that will add on the position and offset it even more. So even though this one looks really wrong and broken up, this is what we want. So here we're going to rotate it a little bit, and then we do like this. And then, yeah, this is what we're going to just continue doing for a bit. And then I'm just going to copy this part, and so now we have this going on. So if you play here and it doesn't work for you, and you see it kind of glitches or jump in the end, so what you want to do, you want to copy the first frame and you just paste it on the last frame. So now it's kind of smooth shaking, right? So we're going to be happy with this shake. And if we go back to the animator, and if we do this shake layer and do weight 0, and we go back, and we're still in the record working mode. If we play now, oh, it actually worked. Good. Sometimes I had problems, but maybe I misunderstood something. But I thought that when you do this at 0 weight and work on the animation, it doesn't shake, but it did. So false alarm. So now we have animation position and animation shake. So we have 2 animations going on. And in the animator, we have, this is the position layer, and here is the shake layer. So you can even see the name is changing. So if we play now, you see now it's moving up and down. Perfect. And actually it just did it once. So we're going to go back to the anim position and make it loop. Click here, loop. And now we have it looping. Perfect. So now if we go into the animator and we go to the shake layer and this cogwheel, and it is actually working. But what we need to do is we also anim shake. We need to make that shake loop too. So now if we go to animator and we go to shake layer, and now we start to, you see, now we're adding this weight. And yeah. So this is like additive. And if we did override, yeah, in this case it didn't show much difference, but oh yeah, it did. So what we do now, we actually not only we override the rotation, and we also override the position. So that's why it's important. When we did the animation, we had everything set to 0. So here it is. So in a nutshell, this is the setup I had from the start. So yeah. And also here you got some more stuff. So you have this sync, and I'm not going to go through that now, but also what could be interesting to know, I might cover this more in depth in another one, but you have mask, and that is a really good one, because maybe you just want to override what we do here. We're actually overriding everything that we animated, but maybe we just want to mask it out to just do one rig part. So here, if you use this for characters, and let's say we make one here, let's do just for quick avatar mask. So just to explain, so if you look to this avatar mask, if you do humanoid, you can kind of choose which part you want to be override. So let's say if you have someone is hurt, you can add some different animation to this part, but you will still keep running as a character, but this part will get more and more affected with this slider here. So I mean, if you're doing characters, but there are good character tutorials about this too. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how I set up this really cool setup here, and show you how this thing is made by script. So once again, what's really cool about these ones is that if we do, I'm just going to untick these controllers. So you see here, this is controlled by script, and I have different shakiness going on here. It's exactly the same thing we just did, but I just have it into a script that's controlling it. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next tutorial.